This little bookshelf is right when you come into the studio. See, there's where you come down the steps. I totally forgot to do it a while ago. There's not really a whole lot on it. My classics are on it, and biographies are on it, and stuff I didn't put on the other shelves for some reason. I don't know. But like some of my favorite purchases are on this shelf. So the top shelf you have my picture albums, Darren's picture albums, and picture albums from when I was in high school. The family Bible that my grandmother got me when I got married. A thing to help you study the Bible, and then because I was curious, I have the Book of Mormon. My favorite book of all time is Miss Frisbee and the Rats of Neem. If you have not seen the cartoon movie The Secret of Neem, you're really missing out, because it's a great story. Makes me cry, and I'm a grown-up and it still makes me cry. And then this book by Tammy Faye. Man, I looked for this book everywhere, and I pre-ordered it, and then the order got canceled on their end, and they did the refund. I guess they didn't get enough copies to send out to everybody. So I started going to all these bookstores, and nobody had it, and nobody had it, and nobody had it. And like frustrated, totally frustrated. And on a shopping trip, we had went to get school shoes, and we were coming out of Evansville, and there was like a little crappy I need to dust. A little crappy bookstore, like right on the edge, and my husband was like, do you want to run in? And I was like, no, why? You know they're not going to have it. And I walked in, and I asked the girl, and she went and got it and gave it to me, and I just lost it. She probably thought I was crazy. I was crying so hard that I couldn't even count money, like in my billfold. I just handed her my billfold and let her get the money out. That's so crazy. But I love that book, and it's very inspirational, and it didn't even feel like you were reading a book. It felt like you were reading a letter that Tammy Faye wrote just to you. It was so awesome. It's an awesome book, and it'll make you cry. Look, I'm tearing up just thinking about it. Anthologies. I love anthologies because you get tons of stories in one book. The Beach, which I keep saying I'm going to read, and I haven't read it yet, and everybody's like, you've got to read it, and I'm like, I'll read it later. I'll watch the movie. Shakespeare, because anybody that likes to read, regardless of your genre, needs to experience a little Shakespeare. What else do we have? I don't know. Oh, The March Up Country. I bought that even though it didn't have a jacket, just because the movie was really good. Ritual. This is a really good book. It's kind of freaky, like believable freaky. The Circle of Magic was good. Maiden's Grave, not so much. Anthology. Raptor Red. It was okay. It was kind of like, I don't know, you follow the main, like, Tyrannosaurus Rex through its life or whatever. I don't know. It was weird. I read it in like an afternoon. I mean, it was good enough I didn't put it down, I guess. Danielle Steele. What is up with that? I don't know why I have Danielle Steele books, because I seriously don't read romance. I'm not kidding. I really don't. A treasury of classics, and then my classics, Treasure Island, probably one of my favorite books. No, Tom Sawyer is one of my favorite books. No, Life on the Mississippi. Okay, so like I really liked all of these books, even though like when you know when you're in high school and you have to read like one classic and then you have to read it and it really sucks. Now as a grown-up, like these are the books I really like them. You cannot read them in one afternoon. They have sustenance. They stay with you. So do I prefer to read scary stuff and bloody, gory? Yes. But do I like this stuff too? Shoot, yeah. Yeah, I like that. But you can't get through that in one day. What's down here? The North Wind was not very good. North Wind, not very good. I gotta remind myself to look in the camera viewfinder and not in front of my face. Meg, I read in an afternoon. It was okay. As you can see, I went through like a little shark. I went through a shark phase. Star Wars. Don't laugh at me. I'm not that nerdy, I swear. Star Wars. Star Trek. Okay, maybe I am that nerdy. What else is down here? The Forge of God. This is great. This is a good book. I mean, I don't know if I would recommend it to anybody, but I thought it was a good book. The 13th Tale. God, that's dusty. Look at that mess. Yuck. Oh. I don't know my little, yeah, that's a pretty good book. Unfortunately, it's pretty dusty too. Mankind, I read that in an afternoon. You know who that is, right? The wrestler? The wrestler guy with the crazy mask. He's actually a pretty smart guy. If he's really the one that wrote his book. He probably had a ghostwriter or something. The American Indian Myths and Legends I thought was kind of awesome. Because even though your ancestors probably came from elsewhere, probably somewhere in your lineage you are of Indian descent. I don't care how Irish you think you are. At some point you blended with the native peoples of this continent. Well, if you live here anyway. Time Stops for No Mouse was a pretty good book. I don't know if my horror peoples would appreciate such a thing. The Songcatcher was a pretty good book. And for any nerd, this book is a necessity. A Familiar Dragon. I haven't read it yet. I keep saying I'm going to, but I haven't. And then another anthology. So that's what's on the little shelf when you come right down the steps. Not a whole lot, but books that have meaning. And if you're a chick and you are looking for something to read and you don't normally read what I say because I like scary stuff, get this book right here. You'll cry. I promise you will. And now that she's passed away, you'll really cry because she's gone now. All of the knowledge that she could have shared with us is what's left in the pages of her books because she's gone. That's awesome. Anyway, okay, so this is a little shelf and I'm rambling. I'm out. See ya.